What is the spiritual law of detachment? The spiritual law of detachment shows us how to go for what you want, without being miserable before we get it. If you have a desire you want to manifest, you will be in a constant state of stress and longing until you get it. This is not only a miserable way to live, but it also blocks the law of attraction from working. In this video you will learn what the law of detachment is, the magic that happens when you let go, and a few tips on how to do it. The law of detachment means letting go of your attachment to the outcome of your actions and manifesting. All religions and mystical traditions have said this. They tell you to surrender and trust God's will, or surrender to the universe, the Tao, or whatever else they might call it. Law of detachment and control. If we look closely and with courage, we see that we do not have much control as we think we do. However, as we go through life and become adults, we must acknowledge there are many things we wanted that did not happen. It is good to take responsibility, but you also need to know where your responsibility ends and the universe takes over. Detachment is not apathy or giving up. When we understand how little control we have compared to what we thought, we can give up and become apathetic or try something else. That something else is understanding how the universe really works. So letting go does not mean you don't care or refuse to get involved in life. It means you understand life better. It's a natural part of your spiritual growth where you have a detached involvement. You do not force solutions or outcomes. Law of detachment and psychology. When we think too much about the outcome, we are more stressed and pay less attention to the process. Paying less attention to the process means the outcome will be harder or impossible to achieve. This is because the outcome is a result of the process. What happens when we detach from the outcome? When we detach from the results, our actions and manifesting methods become powerful because we are aligned with the natural laws of the universe. We are no longer living completely from our egos or negative emotions of lack and habitual thinking patterns, but from our higher self. And when we come from our higher self, our actions are inspired. This is because when we let go, we surrender the results to something bigger than ourselves. Then a new type of energy breaks through. Opportunities will present themselves to you and you will meet people that you need to meet. The law of oneness and the law of detachment. The law of divine oneness states that everything is made of the same stuff. This includes your feelings and thoughts. So when you let go of the outcome and surrender the results, your feelings and overall state will change. This impacts everything else, as all is connected. How to detach from the outcome. To detach from the outcome, start with understanding what you can and cannot control, and become comfortable with that. However, you cannot be comfortable unless you know there is something bigger than yourself that is working on your behalf. Otherwise, you'll be too scared to let go. Tips on using the law of detachment. Living the law of detachment is a personal journey. However, there's some things you can do to help you along. 1. Understand what you control. Go over your life and look at your successes and failures. Ask how much was luck and how much was your effort. Also ask how much of it was predictable before it happened. Try this thought experiment to get a feel of what you are in control of and how much is out of your hands. Look back to a job you got. Did you have control over the moods and personality of those hiring you? Did you have control over the job becoming available and the other candidates who applied for it? What control did you have of the company existing in the first place? 2. How much do you really know? It's amazing how we think we can predict the future. Or when something happens we say, I knew that was going to happen. Hindsight is a funny thing. We cannot even predict our next thought. We only know our thought once it has happened. Take a moment now. What is your next thought going to be, before you think it? If we do not know our next thought, how can we predict other things? I mean complicated things which need many variables to work together to bring the outcome. Like the job interview we spoke about earlier, or starting a business. When you realize all the many things you cannot know or control, you let go of trying to guess and worry about how things are going to work out. This will be scary at first, but when you understand at a deep level, you will accept it, especially when you see how everything is interconnected. 3. Trust in something bigger. You must have faith and trust in something bigger than yourself. If you have a religious faith or a spiritual practice, then you will already have this. If this is new to you, you can look to religion, mystical practices, or you can observe the world around you and your own body. What is that makes the sun rise, the seasons come and go? What is that keeps your heart beating and heals your wounds, without you doing anything? That is what you must trust. Realize our thoughts and ideas are limited. When we let go into something bigger, we are also opening ourselves to infinite possibilities. 4. Where is happiness? We believe happiness is somewhere in the future. We say, only if this or that happens will I be happy. Look at your achievements. How many gave you lasting happiness? How quickly did the happiness fade before you were looking for the next thing? People work hard towards a goal, and when they achieve it, they are often disappointed at how they feel. They look back and see the actions they took and struggle that got them there was what gave them joy. You will see happiness is in the moment. By allowing the world to be as it is and focusing on what you are doing, you see you are happy naturally. This type of happiness does not depend on the outcome as much as you thought. When you do these 4 things, you will naturally live in the law of detachment. You will become more efficient, and as I said earlier, you start seeing coincidences and opportunities pop up for you. Conclusion. The law of detachment states you must let go of attachment to the outcome of your actions. When you let go, your actions become more powerful and you will attract opportunities that seem magical. Detachment, surrender and trust in something bigger than yourself, all go together. If you do not believe there is something that is beyond your ego, you will find it impossible to detach from the results. When you realize you have less control than you thought, that you cannot know the outcome beforehand, and happiness exists naturally when you are present, you will let go with ease. This will not only make you more effective but also stress-free.